He wanted to infect me with HIV. But God said, nope, 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 nope. Hello everyone, hello, welcome to my channel, Bad Life Lessons. My name is Yanga, also known as Babi Yanj. Thank you so much for joining me. Please don't forget to comment, like, and to subscribe to help your girlie to grow. So guys, we've been diving into my past, looking at my previous relationships, my experiences there, and my upbringing, trying to understand where I got the mentality from of not wanting any kids, of not wanting any boyfriend, and of not wanting any husband. That mentality is not common among African ladies, so people are curious, and we've been diving for the past 2 weeks or more. I've uploaded two videos on my dating experiences, trying to get to an explanation of how I got to where I am mentally. So today we still continue with that. Today is still another video related to my dating experiences. So before we get on with the video, you guys can see I'm still in the Eastern Cape. Guys, I hope you guys will be able to hear me without any problems, because today is a Saturday and the street is very, very busy and noisy, but I'm gonna try my best to be as clear as possible. Now, okay, let's get on with today's video. I hope I did mention that if you have not seen the first 2 videos on my story times, talking about my relationships, my love life, please go watch that one before you see this one. All right, so this video is about how a man deliberately tried to infect me with HIV. Yeah, that happened. So before I met my first boyfriend, I met a guy, we'll call him Anele. I don't regard this Anele as my boyfriend, because I only regard people I've been intimate with and people whom I wanted to build a life with as my boyfriends. You know, I never liked Anele enough to want to build nothing with him, and I was never intimate with him, so he does not qualify in my books to call him a boyfriend. So that's why we are naming him Anele instead of calling him boyfriend number 1, boyfriend number 2, boyfriend number 3, like we've been doing on the previous videos. Okay, so before I met my first boyfriend, I met Anele. This is how I met Anele. So I had a next door neighbor, we'll call her my neighbor. She was dating this guy, and that guy she was dating had a car. So it kind of looked cool. Everything, like, you know, that they were doing, you know, seeing a young girl dating a young guy who also has a car. It really looked cute and cool. Yeah, and I think most of us girlies in our location, in our street, we wanted the same thing. A man with a car, okay? So, as I already told you guys, I come from a very strict home where my mom would only allow me to go only to school and to the shops whenever she sends me. But I was never allowed to play with other kids or like hang out on the streets like other kids. I was literally always home unless I'm at school or unless she sends me to the shop, okay? So this Saturday, I remember it was very hot. It was a Saturday. It was very, very hot, and I was wearing my favorite dress. I was feeling myself. My hair was slicked up, freshly relaxed. I was really, really feeling cute, okay? So my mom sends me to the shop to buy a cabbage, and that shop was slightly far. So as I'm walking, I meet my neighbor's boyfriend. And my neighbor's boyfriend is standing there with some cutie pie, another guy. So I'm like, okay, I greet them because I know my next door neighbor's boyfriend. So I greet them, hello, and I just walk by. But I can see they're talking about me. So my neighbor's boyfriend calls me, hey, Yanga, come here. So I go to hear him out. My neighbor's boyfriend had a reputation for, and pew pew. So I do not want to find myself on the wrong side of his books, So if he's calling me, I'm gonna go. Trust me, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go listen to him and hear him out because I don't want any trouble. So I go to him and he tells me, hey, this guy is Anele. He introduces his friend. This guy is Anele. Anele says he likes you. So Anele introduces himself again to me. He tells me he thinks I'm cute and he would like to get to know me, deeper. So he wants my number. I tell him I don't have a phone, but I can give you my mom's phone. However, you must tell her that you are my classmate so that she can give me the phone whenever you call me. And he says, okay. So I give him my mom's number and I go. I continue. I go buy the cabbage. I come back home and the day goes by. Later on, he calls. I talk to him. We chat. Okay. A few days pass by. Somebody tells me, hey, Younger, there's a guy standing in a car on a street behind my street. At some street behind my street. Yes. There's a guy there. He's waiting for me. He's in a car. He wants to talk to me. And I already know it's him. It's Anele. So I go there and whenever he came to check on me, I would tell my mom I have a headache. I want to go get some headache pills from a shop or something. And, I never really spent much time with Anele. It would be like 2 minutes, 3 minutes or something because I'd be panicking the entire time I'm in his car. And as I said, he never used to park at my street. He always parked at the street behind my own so that my parents don't see him. Okay, so I would literally go there whenever he calls for me. Go there, talk to him, and then quickly come back. My mom would never suspect anything because I'd literally be gone for less than 5 minutes. With Anele, he never used to come to check on me regularly. He did this quite a few times. And he was not a big caller as well. Days and weeks would pass without him calling me. And I did not find this strange because I did not have any experience with a man before him. So I do not know if this is right or wrong, to just, be quiet for so long. And I did not care much, Excuse me. I was just excited that this is my first boyfriend and my first boyfriend has a car. That means I will never, ever, ever, ever date a man without a car because my first boyfriend had a car. So it only makes sense for my next boyfriend to also have a car and the one after that and the one after that. Yes, the Delulu, because as we all know, the very first man that I regard as my boyfriend, whom I met after Anele, had no car. He had no money. I was Delulu. I think Anele, this guy, made me fear men with cars. He made me fear men with cars after the experience I had with him. Even though my fear was not based on any reality, but he did make me fear successful men for quite some time. So okay, let's continue with the story. So Anele was not a big caller. He never used to come check on me regularly, but he came a few times, and whenever he came, we would speak for a few seconds, a few minutes, and I'd go back. Even when he calls, we would always just speak for a few minutes. Our conversations were never that deep. They were always surface based, on the surface. And now that I think about it, I don't think this guy ever really liked me because he never really tried to get to know me, I don't think he really wanted to get to really know me as a person because our conversations were never deep. They were never about anything. I can't even remember what we used to speak about because it was literally about nothing. It was literally about nothing. Okay. So, one time, Anele told me to accompany him to go buy some clothes. I told Mama that I have a project and I need to go to the library for research. And Mama agreed. I went. But I didn't go to the library. I actually went to wait by the library for this man. He came and picked me up, and then we went to buy him clothes. We went to some mall, and he was buying, I think, brands from what's this brand now? It was very popular back then. Daniel Hesher, I think it was Daniel Hesher. It was a very respectable brand back then. So I'm looking at the prices of his perfumes, looking at the prices of his clothes, and I'm like, ooh, my man has money and he's not scared to pay. And he was literally buying things for himself, and I was really, really impressed with everything that he was buying. Mind you, he didn't buy me nothing. And you know what? I did not mind him not buying me anything, because I was also quite young, and my mom was strict. If he had bought me anything, I wouldn't be able to use it anyway, because my mom would never allow me to pop up with new clothes that she did not buy. So yeah. So he took me to McDonald's, and this was the first time I went to eat out at McDonald's. It was a big deal for me. I was really, really impressed, and I was like, ooh, man is taking me places. I was really excited. I've never been to McDonald's prior to this period, like to this yeah. I'm sorry guys, I'm kind of distracted by the noise. I hope you guys can hear me. So yeah, I was really impressed that this was my first taste of McDonald's. McDonald's was a big deal to me back then. We didn't take long. We came back and I went home, and mama did not suspect nothing. And yeah, I just felt so special that day because a man took me to McDonald's. I think this was the first time a man took me out to eat. All right, we're moving forward. We never really got to see each other that often after this event, and him taking me to go buy clothes with him was literally like the first time we've spent some time together, like a good amount of time. I think we were together for like an hour or so, and before this we'd always be together for like 5 minutes or less. So this was like the longest time I've been with him. And okay, time went on, and he would be calling me sometimes, and then yeah, it just yeah. And then one day, it was a weekend again, and it was really, really windy. And my mom told me she wants me to go drop some things off at her cousin's house, who lived in a different township, not in the same township as I lived in. So I was gonna take a taxi. I was gonna have to take a taxi to get to my mom's cousin's house. So on that day, he called me. Hey, where are you? I told him, hey, my mom is sending me off to this other township, and now I'm on my way to the taxi to get a taxi. And he said, no, don't worry, I'll go drop you off. And I was like, okay, this is new. I like it. The perks of having a man with a car means you don't have to go to the taxi rank and have to wait for the taxi to get full. Oh my gosh, I like this for me. So I go wait for him at some corner, and then he comes pick me up, and then goes to drop me off by my mom's cousin's house. I did not stay there. I just dropped whatever I had to drop off, and I returned to the car, and then we drove back to our location, our township. But then he did not drive me home. He drove me to his friend's house. And as we were there outside, I was like kind of panicking, like, I have to go home. I have to go home. Mind you, I think I was like 16 this time, 16 years old. I don't know. I'm not sure. But I know I was like probably in grade 10 or something. So I'm like, I have to go home. I have to go home. He's like, no, relax. Your mom knows you had to go to the taxi rank. That's a walk. That's a long walk from your house to the taxi rank. She knows that in the taxi, you would have to wait for the taxi to get full first before it even leaves with you. And she knows that from her cousin's house, you have to go to the taxi rank again and wait for the taxi to get full before you can get back home. So I don't think your mom is expecting you. And as I was thinking about it, I was like, yeah, he's correct. I don't think my mom is expecting me this time. So that means I still have time with him. I can chill. So we go into his friend's house, and he speaks with his friend, and the friend instantly leaves. I thought we were visiting the friend, but to my shock, the friend left us in his house. So it's clear that he knew what he was doing. This guy, he knew what he was doing. He probably like borrowed the place from his friend for him to try to sleep with me or something. Okay, so the friend leaves. Now for the first time I'm alone with this guy. No one else, it's just me and him. This is the first time I've ever been alone with any man that I'm dating or seeing or messing around with, whatever. This is the first time I've ever been with this man in private. This is the first time I've ever been with any man in private. Okay. He closes the door, then he starts kissing me. He's playing music, and then he starts kissing me. And I used to enjoy kissing him. He was a good kisser. He had a good breath as well. So, yeah, I'm kissing, we kissing. And then he pushes me to the bed. I'm like, now this is not what I had in mind. Because I'm literally a baby and I'm not ready to have any intimate, I'm not ready to be intimate with nobody. And especially this guy, because as young as I was wise enough to know that I don't know him well. I was wise enough to know that I don't know his intentions, And I had the biggest fear of teenage pregnancy. A lot of kids were falling pregnant in my street and at school, and I did not want the stigma of teenage pregnancy. I knew what it takes to get a person pregnant, and I was trying to avoid that. I was not ready. I did not want to do this. So this guy pushes me to the bed. I tell him no, and he's like literally ignoring me. He's like, no, don't worry, relax, don't be scared. And then like he continues kissing me, touching me all over, and then he removes my undie, but like he leaves my dress on. He does not undress me completely. He just removes my undie, and then he undresses himself, not completely, just his pants and his undie. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is the first time I'm seeing, this is the first time I'm seeing a sausage in real life. I've seen it on TV or in magazines, but like I've never seen this thing in real life. Ow. And I'm like literally scared. Oh my gosh, what am I gonna do? I don't want to do this. I don't want to have a child. That's the only thing that's ringing in my mind. I don't want to have a child. I don't want to have a child. I'm just a child. I cannot have a child, and my mom would kill me. Yeah, this guy Sana does not listen to my nose. He comes, Kesana. Then he like tries to insert himself in me. But I tightened myself. Even though my legs were open, I tightened myself to the point that he was trying to come in, but he couldn't. He was pushing himself in, trying to force himself in, but he couldn't. I have this skill. I still have it till this day. I've done this to many other guys after this. Even today I can do this, like where no matter how wide my legs are, I tighten myself, and once I tighten myself like that, nothing can enter, not even an ant. So I tighten myself because I don't want teenage pregnancy. This man is trying to get in. I'm tightening myself. Oh, by the way, he was not that old. I think he was like 3 years older than me or something. Okay, so he's like literally trying to enter me, and I'm fighting for my life, like really squeezing him out, and he's trying, and I'm tired. Oh, guys, you have no idea. I think this went on for like 30 minutes or so, and then he got frustrated and annoyed because like it's clear that he cannot go inside, and he does not understand why he cannot go inside. He's used his saliva at this point, trying to lubricate me with his saliva. I'm still tight, darling. He cannot go in. So eventually he gives up. He's so annoyed. He's frustrated. I can see his frustration as he's getting dressed, and he tells me, hey, get up, get dressed. So I put on my undie, and then he pulls up his pants, and then we go to the car. He drives me home. Throughout the entire drive to my house, he doesn't say nothing. He doesn't say anything. I say goodbye. He still does not say anything. So I go home. My mom suspects nothing. She thinks I came back quite quicker than she expected me to. So yeah, life goes on. And this man never calls me again. He never texts me again. He never comes to see me again. He literally goes a-hole. And I'm like, wow. At this point, because I'm young and dumb, I'm like, oh, maybe I should have given it to him. Because now he's so mad, he's no longer talking to me again. And I'm wondering, are we broken up? Is this how we break up? Because he didn't say anything about a breakup. So, yeah, weeks go by, still no word from this man. And then my neighbor starts talking to me about him. Started telling me, hey, you know, Anele was arrested for years and years and years and years, and when you met him, he had just been released from jail. I'm like, what? That's news to me. I do not know that. And like, she tells me a bunch of information about him that I did not know, that he did not reveal. And I'm like literally shocked at this point. And then like she tells me, every time she sees me, she has something to tell me about him. So one time she tells me, oh, Anele has got a new girlfriend now. And my heart drops because I kind of like the guy. I was starting to like him. And then she tells me they like to go out together and they'd be wearing like matching outfits. And I'm like, wow, it's clear that he liked this girl more than he's ever liked me, because he only took me once to McDonald's and we were not wearing matching outfits then. But I'm hearing that now he's wearing matching outfits with another girl and he's always taking this girl out. Actually, he was taking her out to pubs and taverns because they both drank. And this girl seemed like she came from a home where there's a bit more freedom than I had. Because, yeah, the fact that she could afford to go out dancing with him at pubs and in taverns. Yeah, she had more freedom than I had. So I had to swallow the pill. It was not a nice thing to hear. It got to the point where it really ate at me. Like, this information that my neighbor kept giving me was eating me up. I had to tell her, hey, stop telling me. Stop informing me about this guy. He's no longer in my life, so I don't understand why you keep telling me about him. So she stopped, and then it was a while before she told me about him again. It was like after 2 years or something. I had literally forgotten about him. My neighbor says, hey, you remember that guy, Anelu, that you were dating? Remember how he left you for another girl? I'm like, yeah. And she was telling me, she met that girl at a clinic, and that girl looked so sick. She couldn't even walk. People were pushing her with a trolley, because she could not walk. She was really, really sick. I was like, oh, shame. I wonder what happened. I did not connect two and two together until Anele got sick himself. When Anele got sick, word spread out that he had HIV/AIDS. That was like 2 years after he had broken up with me. So people are like, oh, did you hear Anele is sick? He's sick. Oh, he's dying. He's got HIV/AIDS. And people thought like I've actually been intimate with him before, because they were telling me you should get tested because Anele, your boyfriend, the one you were dating, has HIV/AIDS. And I kept saying I have nothing to worry about because I never slept with that man. And it was true. I never slept with him, so I had nothing to worry about. Eventually he passed away, but I can't shake the feeling that he was trying to infect me with HIV that day. I think he contracted the virus in prison. I think he was aware that he had this virus, because even the day when he was trying to force himself on me, he did not have protection on. He wanted to do it raw. So he did not have protection. He knew what he was doing, or he knew what he was trying to do. He knew it. He wanted to infect me with HIV. But God said, nope, not with my child, not with my child. God really protected me that day. Because if I had HIV today, I would not have achieved anything that I have achieved so far. Oh, guys, the street is so busy. I'm so sorry. I was not going to achieve everything that I've achieved so far because, can you just go? Yeah. So if I had contracted HIV/AIDS, I was not going to be able to achieve any of the things that I've achieved so far, because I was not going to be able to go to work abroad had I contracted the virus. If you are HIV positive, you cannot go work in other countries. They test you before giving you a work visa. You must be HIV negative for you to be able to work there. And if I had just stayed and worked here in South Africa, I would be in debt, I would be an underachiever, I would be depressed. Everything that I've achieved so far was only possible because I went to work abroad. Abroad, they pay more than they pay here in SA. SA's salaries don't compare with overseas salaries. Oh my gosh, my street is so noisy. I want to scream. But people, okay, they also have a right to have fun. It's the weekend, as I mentioned this before. So yeah, had I contracted HIV, this would have ruined everything. Everything. My life would have been different right now. So the lesson that I got from this was like, oh, be careful of men with cars, because they have more options and they usually are sick and they want to spread their illnesses, which is not true, because it's not just men with cars who are sick. It's not just rich men who are sick. Poor men are also sick too. Poor men can also infect you too. So this was me being childish after him not wanting to date no one who had a car or who had a bit of money, because of what he almost did to me. So I thought all rich guys, all guys with cars and money had HIV and wanted to infect us, us young girls, which was quite untrue, because it can be any man, despite having a car, no car, having money, no money, they can, yeah. So the best thing to just learn is just be careful. Just be careful. I find celibacy as the biggest protector, because now that I'm celibate, I don't have to worry about a condom breaking. I don't have to worry about unwanted pregnancies, infections, incurable viruses. I'm literally at peace. I know that when God said we should not fornicate, he was protecting us from such things. And I know that other people are not gonna join my celibate movement, but I want you to be prayerful and be careful. I know a lot of people are saying, oh, it's okay, you can just test for HIV with your partner at the beginning of the relationship. But darling, he can still get infected after you guys test, because you know how they like to cheat and how negligent they are with the people they cheat with, and you know how they hate the condom, you know how they like hitting it raw. So testing at the beginning of the relationship does not protect you from anything, because you can still be infected later on after he cheats on you with someone he did not test with. He can still do that. He can still cheat on you with somebody he did not test with and infect you with HIV. You can say, oh, he uses condoms all the time, but do you know that he could poke those condoms and make holes on them, either to infect you or to trap you with the baby? So it's also wise to just bring your own condoms. Bringing your own condoms means that you're not using his. Bringing your own condoms means that he might not have time to poke holes on your condoms, in your condoms. So yeah, I just love celibacy for me. And I know people are like, do you masturbate? No, I don't masturbate, because guys, once you become celibate, after some time, just a few months after it start starting celibacy, it's like your desires, your sexual desires, they go away. You can pray them away, you can fast them away. And actually, even if you don't do that, your body, whatever part of the body that you don't use, tends to die off. If I were to fold my arm like this for weeks and weeks and weeks and months, this arm would end up being like this forever. I would not be able to stretch it out. So it's the same thing with that organ. The more you let it be, you leave it alone, the more it will stop desiring anything. My organ is only to pee and to have monthly periods. I don't masturbate, I don't do anything, and I have no desires to do such. Anyways, guys, I hope we all learned something, a thing or two from this story time, and I hope to see you guys next time. Thank you so much for joining me. Love you. Bye bye.